This video is brought to you by the award-winning prop firm, Fidelcrest.
Whenever you are watching a range form, when price comes back down to the low, that's where you want to be looking for a long. What I like to look for is bullish divergences, and I use an indicator called market Cipher. Also, we could see this purple money flow stuff getting higher over time. This to me is always a long trade, with my target being at the high of the range.
All right, folks, here we are on Trading Up. We've got Jason Casper in the house. We've just done an awesome podcast. Go and check it out. Link under the video there. You're going to get his full story and his full trading story and a whole bunch of more detail around what he does. But in this video here, you're going to see what he does on a price chart. So you're going to be able to piece it all together with the podcast and this video. So welcome back to the show, Jason.
Hey, thanks for having me, Cam. Excited to be here.
Awesome stuff. Well, look, let's share your screen and have a look at things.
Yeah, for sure.
Fidelcrest is an award-winning prop firm that funds traders with up to $2 million and offers generous profit splits up to 90%. So one thing that really sets Fidelcrest apart is their no minimum trading days requirement on their challenge and verification stages. On top of that, traders who successfully pass the challenge and verification stages are eligible to receive a bonus payout of up to $30K on top of their funded stage profit split payout on performance. And be sure to use promo code TradingNut, all one word, to get 10% off your next challenge. Click the link in the description below or the card above to find out more.
Yeah, so primarily I like to I like to trade cryptocurrency, and so whenever I'm approaching the markets, I'm always looking for sideways ranges, because I know a lot of people are always looking for like that big move, right? The big move, like maybe looking to like long, like a part of this. And for me, I just like to look at price as always ranging sideways. We can see that most of the time the price is simply ranging from high to low to high to low to high to low. And we can see this on any time frame pretty much. We could, like, yesterday I was literally doing this live on YouTube on a 1 minute time frame, taking scalps, just looking for ranges, low to high and high to low. And if you can kind of approach the market like this, it gives you very, very clear places to look for trades. Because right when I first got into investing, my grandfather told me, son, let me tell you a thing or two about investing. Investing's so dang easy, even you could do it. All you got to do is buy low and sell high, right? But most traders, what do? Right? We start trading and we see a blue candle and we're like, ooh, let's go long. See a purple candle, ooh, let's go short. But it really is true. Buy low and sell high. And so I want to basically show you my strategy for trading is I will always approach the chart, and I will always look to identify those areas of highs and lows. And that's where I will look for a trade. And I will plan the trade in advance, sometimes weeks in advance, especially if I'm on a higher term time frame. And I will then, after I plan the setup, I will have certain confirmations that I will look for to get me into the trade. So a great example of this, Cam, would be back in after the FTX collapse, for anybody who's familiar with crypto. We were trading this sideways range right here. And there are two specific trades that I took here, two specific long trades. And these were setups I gave in advance in my trading group. And unfortunately I don't have the screenshots here, but if anybody follows me on YouTube, I show my positions, I live stream my trades and all that stuff, right? So we had a very clearly defined high right here, and we had a very clearly defined low right here. And so after this whole FTX thing happened, I gave the long setup to long this low. And the reason why is because whenever you are watching a range form, when price comes back down to the low, that's where you want to be looking for a long. And what I like to look for is bullish divergences. And I use an indicator called market Cipher. And market Cipher is a very powerful indicator because it has this thing on here called the money flow. Now, I know people say different things about indicators. People think indicators are BS or whatever. For me, whenever I see that price is coming down to a low, and I see, for example, right here, the price made a lower low, and the oscillator here made a higher low on the 4 hour time frame, and also we could see this purple money flow stuff getting higher over time. This to me is always a long trade, with my target being at the high of the range. And this is a setup that I did give in advance in my Discord, and it played out perfectly. In fact, I wonder, I could probably send it to you after the stream, my post, where I'm like, the only long trade that I would look for is if we came down to this low with bullish divergences on the 4 hour time frame and down. And sure enough, when we did that, we got the move back up to the exact high of the range. And then when we came to the high of the range, the exact opposite thing happened. And I actually took this short live as well on YouTube because it was during the FOMC announcement, Jerome Powell. We came up to the high of the range, and the 4-hour time frame once again was giving us the bearish divergence with also this money flow getting lower. And so it's all about buy low and sell high. So I was able to long the bottom and short the top. I know it sounds crazy. The next long trade I took right here was actually from 16,300. I also like to use volume. So there's a lot of other tools that I use in order to acquire my horizontal levels. Volume is a great tool to use as well. So you can see down here, the $16,300 level was the value area low of this sideways range right here. And I actually have a screenshot of the setup that I gave in advance, right? Swing long from the low of the range from around 16,310 was the entry that I gave for that long. And I just wanted to see the bullish divergences on the 4-hour time frame and down. And sure enough, when we come down to this level, what do we see on the 4-hour time frame and downward? But we see the bullish divergences, right? Price is making a lower low right into literally the exact level that we wanted. The oscillator is making a higher low right here, and also the money flow is getting higher. I like to call it the uneven butt cheek pattern, right? As price is getting lower, you have this nice juicy left butt cheek, just so juicy you want to squeeze it. Then you have this skinny right cheek, and
brilliant.
Yeah, and that is what I use to trade these ranges, and you can do this pretty much on any time frame, right? So let's actually talk about a short trade that I'm actually currently in right now. That's probably going to get stopped out after a TP1 is hit, because I did. Probably will get stopped out after a TP1 is hit here. Well, I shorted it from this high up here, and I hit a good take profit on it. I like to hold my longs. See, right now, I'm actually in a long trade from the low that we put in right here, and I'm in a short that I put in right here. I like to hold the trades after a TP1 to guarantee a winning trade. Like if I can close that trade with more money in the account than when I started, I consider that a win for me. But the last short that I'm in right now from up here, it was the same exact deal. Like we came up to the high, we put in a higher high at the top of the sideways range, and the oscillator and the money flow was getting lower here on market Cipher B on the 4-hour. And this is also a setup that I gave in advance over in my trading group, because we're just looking for the highs and the lows. That's what we're looking at, right? So I don't know if we can see here the entry that I gave here. I can't see it actually on my screen. No, it looks like it got cut off. So that doesn't do good showing my point, does it?
At least, do they have their? You can't really tell. I can't really tell. I'd have to rewind the video and watch. But that's all. It's really interesting that you decided, and it obviously was a decision, to just trade ranges. I don't think I've had anyone on the show, and I've like over 200 episodes, who primarily focus on trading ranges. Maybe one other guest if I really rack my brain.
Well, let me just say one reason why I think this is superior to any other style of trading. Most of the time, any asset you look at will be trading a range, right? People are always trying like, what's the trend? Which might work if you're like a swing trader, I guess. But like look at any asset and then just go back and look. There's always a huge impulse and then a range, and then a huge impulse and then a range, and then a huge impulse and then a range. If you're buying low and selling high of every range you find, eventually you're going to be the badass who like longed the exact bottom of the big impulse. People are like, how did you get that entry? It's like, look, I got this entry because we came down to the low of a range, right? And now people are like, how did you know it was going to pump? I didn't know, right? And I closed a big portion of the position. I still have that trade open. But yeah, I closed the big portion of the position at the high of the local range. That's why I always TP and then hold a portion of the trade. Like that's why I'm about to let my short get stopped out right now after taking a profit, because if you're always shorting the top of the range and longing the low of the range, ensuring a winning trade, then whatever way that range breaks, you're going to be in profit. So I'm still in right now. I'm in 4 long positions. So if my short gets stopped out after making a profit, so be it. I'm still holding these long trades from the low of the range. So I'm not saying this is the only way to trade, but for me, this has really, really helped because it doesn't really matter like what price is doing. I don't care if we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. You can long and short those ranges. And if we're in a downtrend, I recommend prioritizing, thinking to yourself, yeah, this is probably, we're going to break down from here, and I should probably hold on to this one, and vice versa for an uptrend. But and I don't really trade stocks, but even when we look at the S&P 500, like for example, we can just see that for the past few days, the S&P 500 has also been trading in this sideways range. Actually, for the past few weeks, where we have come from the low of the range to the high of the range to the low of the range, and now we're back up the high of the range where I'm looking for the rejection. And I'm also going to be looking for another Bitcoin short when I see the S&P 500 get its rejection as well. And there's always ranges within ranges too, right? So like if we break out of this local range, let me like clean up this chart a little bit. If we break out of this local range, well, then we look up to the top of the more macro range that we've been trading in, going all the way back to 2022 over here, So that's just the way I approach the price action. Otherwise, I feel like you can get lost, like, and thinking like, oh, we're in an uptrend, we're in a downtrend, but no, we're not really. Like if we look at everything that happened for the S&P 500 since April, we've been trading sideways,
I think, you can pretty much guarantee you're always going to find a range somewhere, right? It's like, it's not going to take too long before a range comes around. Trends, on the other hand, much more rare. Hey folks, ever wonder what broker I use? Well, I use Hankotrade. It was a no-brainer because I was looking for a broker with good trading conditions and one that wouldn't restrict my leverage. Now, by joining Hankotrade, I've also cut down my trading costs significantly with their super low commission of just $1 per 100K. You can learn more at hankotrade.com or just click the link I've put in the description. So, hey, look, Jason, thank you for coming on the show. That was fantastic. Breakdown, really insightful in terms of seeing what you actually do on a chart. Now, what's the best way for the folks to get hold of you?
YouTube. You ever hear that website? YouTube.com.
I think we might be on it now. Anyway, yeah. YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, Jason Casper. Twitter at Jason_Casper. And I do have a free Discord community people can join. I also have a premium Discord community people can join. And all that stuff is on my YouTube channel.
Brilliant. Well, look, folks, do remember we did do the podcast. Go and check it out. Link underneath this video, and all those links to, Jason's just mentioned will be in that page. So go and check that out after the show. Whilst you're clicking on around down there, hit subscribe, like, and click that notifications bell, and we'll see you in the next video, or you can click one of these ones up here.